Fraser Valley real estate market has pretty much been in a all-out free fall since about the middle of February this year. And in this video, I want to talk about when will it bottom, what do the statistics look like, and what has happened in the past. I'm that Agent Kelly, realtor here in the Fraser Valley with Stonehaus Realty. On this channel, I primarily talk about investing in real estate, the Fraser Valley, and Vancouver as a whole. So if you get any value or entertainment from these videos, I would love it if you dropped a like and subscribed. Let's get into the video. All right, so first off, let's cover some of the statistics right now in the Fraser Valley. And all of these statistics that I'm going to be talking about are on they're aggregate statistics, meaning all product types across all areas in the Fraser Valley. The condo market is acting a lot different from the detached market right now. They're completely separate. People like to think of what is the Vancouver real estate market doing as a whole, but if you're in real estate, you know that's not really an accurate way to look at things. But typically when you're talking about when will the market bottom, you're talking about aggregate pricing. So all these statistics are aggregate. So first off, inventory right now is downtrending. We're down 15% since June. New listings are down 58% since March at a 20-year low. And that's pretty insane because you look at 20 years ago, the population was way less than what it is today. So when you're talking about a 20-year lows in sales today, that's not even adjusted for all of the new people that live here right now. Sales to active listing ratio starting to trend up. We only have 1 month of data of it trending up, but basically it went from 15 to 17%. That is a very important statistic. And what it means is, say 10 homes get listed on the market. If 2 of them sell, that's a 20% sales ratio. Typically, I shouldn't say typically, actually, objectively, anything above a 20% sales ratio is a seller's market, 12 to 20% is balanced, and anything below 12% is a buyer's market. So technically, we're sitting in a balanced market right now for the Fraser Valley. These statistics are important to note because if this trend continues, if the sales ratio continues to pick up, if inventory continues to come down and new listings continue to come down, eventually the supply is going to catch up with where demand currently is. If new listings stop coming to the market, inventory continues to drop, sales ratios continue to go up, eventually we're going to be in a situation where buyers have nothing left to buy and their hand is forced into buy whatever is on the market, right? Obviously, there's some people that be like, I don't want any of these properties, we're just gonna wait. But there are a lot of people out there that have to buy and they don't have a choice. And if, like I was saying, if that supply catches up to the demand, that will set a floor under prices at some point and at least stabilize the market. It doesn't have to go up right away, but at least if we can hit a bottom and maybe trade sideways for a year or two or something like that, that would be super healthy for the market in my opinion. So it's extremely difficult to pick a price point and say, oh yeah, we're gonna bottom at $800,000 median pricing across all of the Fraser Valley because it's super difficult. But what I can tell you is what happened the last few times this happened. So back in 2008, we topped out in June. Then we corrected and found a bottom in March 2009. 9 months total for us to find a bottom in the biggest financial crisis that the Western world has seen, I guess. In 2016, we topped out April 16, and then we corrected and found a bottom in October 2016. That took 6 months for us to find a bottom. And in 1980, the mother of all crashes, we topped out somewhere in the middle of 1980, and we didn't find a bottom until the latter half of 1981, so just over a year. And that one was really bad. And you know what? In all honesty, I would probably compare what we're going through right now to something a lot more similar to the likes of 1980. I probably wouldn't compare what we're going through right now to 2008. It's probably more closely linked to what was happening in 1980. So, but if you look at that, right, the worst that we've had is just over a year before we found a bottom, right? If I had to answer this and put a prediction in for you right now, I personally think we're going to find a bottom sometime before the end of the year. Like I was saying, that doesn't mean prices have to skyrocket up. we could literally hit a bottom and trade sideways for a decade, like what happened in the 90s with Toronto. Completely possible. We could hit a bottom, trade sideways for a year or two. We could hit a bottom and start going up right away, right? But I personally feel, I mean, obviously that's dependent on a lot of the data that we're waiting to come in, like CPI, how the Bank of Canada is going to deal with the inflation report and all of that stuff. But I just personally feel like, if I had to guess, that we probably will see a bottom before the end of the year. And the reason why is we're on the back half of this rate hike cycle, in my opinion. I feel like if rates are to go up further from here, it's not going to be like anything we've already seen. And I mean, at this point, I think it's going to take nothing short of a catastrophe to push real estate prices much further down than they've already come off. We're already down 30% in Chilliwack. We're down 530 grand, Cloverdale detached median pricing, 400 grand in Abbotsford, 450 grand in Langley. Chilliwack, I'm not even sure, but I know Chilliwack's been beat up really, really bad, right? So to push prices down another 20-30% from where we're at right now, something catastrophic would have to happen. We'd have to see a lot of foreclosures, a lot of distressed sellers, and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I do think we will see a bunch of foreclosures coming up pretty soon, but I don't think it's going to be anything like '08. I think there will be a lot of people in trouble. We just don't know how many people are going to be in trouble to the extent where it's actually going to violently push down the price of housing. I think there'll be people here and there that are forced to sell their home, but it may not necessarily set the new market price. They even if these people had to sell in a hurry and liquidate their home, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to sell for a significant loss, especially if inventory is the way it is right now and it's a quality product, right? We would have to see a massive wave of foreclosures all at the same time to really push down prices significantly. But that's just my opinion. I'm a realtor, not an economist. But you guys are watching this. You're looking for an opinion on the market right now. I'm giving it to you. That's what I think is going to happen. I personally feel like we will see a bottom before the end of the year and probably trade sideways for a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that. Another big thing to consider is currently right now there are 80 some odd development projects on hold across the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, or maybe it's the Fraser Valley. I think there's 80 development projects on hold somewhere on the outskirts of Vancouver right now. And basically what's going to happen is in a year's time from now, when all of these single family homes and townhomes, and in a year and a half when all of these condos should have been built and people would be taking occupancy of them or selling them on the market, none of that inventory is going to be there from those 77 development projects that should have been finished getting built. And this is why our market kind of trades in cycles. As prices go down, it doesn't make sense for developers to build. And then a couple years down the road, we're met with another supply crisis where the demand catches up to the supply. And then that prices start getting pushed up, and they get pushed up extremely fast. Because once prices start going up, then consumer sentiment completely does a 180 to I need to buy and get in right now, right? So that's my opinion. I think we will find a bottom sometime before the end of the year. I could be wrong, maybe early next year, but that's what I think. I think we'll stabilize just because inventory is so low. It's going to be really hard for them to push demand further down than it already is right now. We're already at extremely low sales. I'm pretty sure it's all-time low sales right now. So to try and push demand further down from where it already is going to be pretty hard. And we're seeing inventory drop, basically fall off a cliff as we speak right now. So I think we'll find a bottom, stabilize, trade sideways for maybe about a year or so. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I'm trying to put them out weekly now. Please follow along if you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, maybe even tick that bell to be notified every time I post. I'm That Agent Kelly. You can find me on other platforms. My main platform is TikTok. That's where most of my work, I guess, is showcased, or That Agent Kelly on Instagram. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.